Hey guys, I'm Kendra.
Hi, I'm Mercedes, and this week we're talking about one of my favorite movies of all time, High School Musical.
High School Musical. You have to sing it, Mercedes. It's a High School
High
Musical.
School Musical.
But before we get too deep into singing, of course, Mercedes, we have to talk about our celebrity crush of the week. Who are you crushing on this week?
Oh my goodness, Kendra. So Chris Pine has been at the top of my mind because
Ooh.
did you see that photo of him with the new beard? It's like the whole salt and pepper going on.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I like me
He
some salt
okay.
and pepper beard. Okay.
So the cut, even on Instagram, the cut posted a photo, and they were like the Kurt Russellification of Chris Pine, and you know what? I'm digging it. I love it. All of COVID, he's been like paparazzied outside bookstores, like local bookstores, with stacks of books. So
Oh.
he really understands me. I love
You know
him.
he's recently single too. Did you see that?
Oh my goodness, my
Yeah.
favorite Chris is recently single.
Yeah. Shoot your shot, Mercedes. Slide into those DMs. Like, get
I,
it.
you know, I might have to. I might have to.
Okay, so you're gonna laugh at me for my crush this week. Okay,
I'm
I
excited.
I just discovered him this week. His name
Ooh.
is Henning Mai. He's a lead singer of this German band called Anne and Mai Kantereit. And I have an obsession with white boys who shouldn't have so much soul in their voice.
Just looked him up. Oh my god. He
Right?
looks
That's
like a little like Tumblr singer-songwriter boy. Like
exactly. And he sounds like that. And Mercedes, let me tell you, I have not stopped
that's
listening to all of their songs
crazy.
for like the past week. I have to hear his voice now. I'm like
Oh my
yeah,
god.
it's like the Billy Rafful effect, the Dermot Kennedy effect. It's like, why do you guys have so much soul in your voice? What is happening?
The voice can change it forever. Cause some guys I like want like a voice like that, I want him to do his own bedtime story in the Calm app. Just
Yup.
so that I
Yes.
can hear
Yes.
him.
You're 100% right. Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're going to swing it to the TLDR. This is just a time where we recap the movie for anyone who hasn't seen it. Just wanted to let you know, too, like, we want to do High School Musical because it just ties so perfectly into Meet Cute's April series, which is called
Yeah.
Extracurricular, which is also a high school musical. And then if you come back for the next 2 weeks, you get to find out more about what other musical rom-coms Mercedes and I are going to be talking about. Um, just a warning, there are spoilers ahead. If you have not seen this movie, you can stream it on Disney Plus. Take it away, Mercedes.
Okay, so it's New Year's Eve, and two high school juniors, Troy Bolton, played by none other than Zac Efron,
Oh,
and Gabriela Montez, played by Vanessa Hudgens, meet at a ski lodge and are forced into a karaoke duet together, and they discover each other's hidden vocal talents. And after their musical meeting, the two part ways but unexpectedly reunite at East High in Albuquerque, New Mexico, fictional.
yes. Shout out.
And yeah, on the first day back from winter break, but we learn Troy is the school's basketball star, and everyone knows him, everyone loves him, everyone wants to be him. And Gabriella is the new shy, studious transfer student. And when the two interact at school, it really draws the attention and suspicions of everybody, all their classmates, and all the cliques, especially drama club president Sharpay Evans, played by Ashley Tisdale. So Troy and Gabriella find themselves in the theater during the rehearsals for the spring musicale, and the reluctant Troy ends up joining Gabriella on stage and sings. And much to their surprise, they're given the callback audition from their drama teacher. And with the callback list publicized, the entire school is really just chaotic now. The social dynamics of East High are beginning to shift, and Troy's teammates and Gabriella's Scholastic Decathlon Club are really worried about their sudden changing in focus and their priorities. And after a bunch of miscommunications, Troy and Gabriella really overcome the peer pressure and decide to follow through with their audition. Except now, the callbacks, Scholastic Decathlon, and the final basketball game are all changed at the same time, of course. And but the duo and their friends band together, and they help them successfully audition and win their competitions. And at the end of the day, you know, they were all in it together, just how they're
Yes.
supposed to be.
Oh, I love that. Best song. This is a 2006 film that was directed by Kenny Ortega, who also directed the Michael Jackson documentary This Is It, Cheetah
Mhm.
Girls 2, and the cult classic Hocus Pocus.
Yes, and oh my gosh, he did all the choreography for Dirty Dancing. Can
Yeah,
you
uh-huh.
believe?
He did, uh-huh. It's so I mean, I love Kenny Ortega because like he did a bunch of behind the scenes on Disney Channel when this movie came out, and I just
Yes.
like got
Oh,
to know him.
those were the best.
The
The best.
best.
When they teach you like all of the dance moves and then behind the scenes, you get to hear like all like in the studio singing the songs. Oh my
Exactly. I
gosh.
love those are always my favorite part about
Yes.
musicals specifically because I love to see how it comes together. But like some fun facts on this movie. So actually, it's funny because Ashley Tisdale, who plays Sharpay, she auditioned for the role of Gabriella, but of course Kenny
Oh
looked
my
at her and was like,
gosh.
"No, you are
You're a
Sharpay.
Sharpay.
You're a Sharpay."
Imagine as Gabriella. No. Couldn't be.
I know. Seriously. Gosh.
And Kenny Ortega's whole goal with this movie was to make it like a really huge production, so it could be the younger generation's Grease, which Grease
Mhm.
was one of my it was probably my first favorite movie as a child. I used to watch it as like a toddler. I loved
Mm.
it.
Ugh.
And yeah, and the High School Musical writer Peter Barsacchini, if
He has
I
a
hope I'm
hard last name to
he has a
pronounce. Yeah.
long hard yeah. Um, he definitely utilized the like star-crossed lovers from Shakespeare, and
Oh.
we see like it's Romeo and Juliet, it's Greece, it's all of that. I love
Romeo
it.
and Juliet meet Grease. That's what High School Musical
Exactly.
is. I love that. You know what's so funny too about the title? So like High School Musical was the working title of this movie, which for any of our
Yeah.
listeners who don't know what a working title is, it's basically just a placeholder name for a film or TV series until the solidified name is decided. But they went into post production on this movie and still didn't have a better name, so they just reluctantly settled on High School Musical, and now it's like this big thing.
Iconic.
You know?
Yes. And up until the series on Disney Plus, High School Musical, the musical, the series, or as I like to say it, HSMTMTS, that
Yes.
quickly. Before that premiered on Disney Plus in 2019, not a lot of people knew that High School Musical wasn't actually filmed in Albuquerque, even though that's where it's the setting.
Mhm.
It was actually filmed at a school in Salt Lake City. And they still have all the High School Musical archives in there. Apparently, they still have Sharpay's pink locker.
Yeah, it suits music.
Imagine. Oh my gosh. I've it's always been my dream to go.
Really, that's so
Yes,
funny
just
that
go
like
visit.
they should have just. I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest. First, that is, I don't really know a ton of difference between like New Mexico and Utah and Arizona and
It's
like,
all the
and, like all of,
Southwest.
yeah, yeah. So I'm like, they could have just made it in Utah. Like,
Exactly, exactly.
it's not like the location held a lot of significance. But I mean, as many of you know, this movie is what started Zach and Vanessa's love story. They met and
Oh
dated
my
for 4 years
gosh.
because of this movie. And I feel like we're going to be
Zanessa.
talking about that a lot.
Oh, definitely. Zanessa had such an impact on me.
Yes, they
We'll
did.
get into it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any of the listeners know, but Drew Seeley is actually the singing voice of Troy Bolton in this first movie. Zac Efron took over for the rest of the series. But, you know, Drew Seeley deserves more love. He has a beautiful voice, and he was so good in Another Cinderella Story. I love him.
Absolutely. Okay. Hot take, Mercedes. Are you ready for this?
No, I'm never ready.
Okay, I know you're never ready because they're always really controversial what I'm about to say. High School Musical 2 is a far better movie.
Oh my
This
god.
is a
This
far
is
superior movie than this one.
this is indeed a hot take. Personally, my ranking is 3-1-2, but I
Oh.
digress.
Wait, okay. See, to me, it's kind of like what Harry Potter 3 did to the series, right? Harry Potter 3 was the first one where you saw them like outside of their robes. They were like running all over the school. You got to see a different side of them. That's how I feel about High School Musical 2. Like they're out of school, they all have like a summer job. The songs are just so much better because Drew Seeley did the singing voice for Troy Bolton. He only did like one like the first line of each song or something like that.
Yeah.
But the second one, they actually wrote the songs to cater to Zac Efron's voice. And so I feel like it's better. Like the music is better. It's more geared towards Troy and Gabriella. And also, you know me, my favorite rom-coms happen when you can see the relationship, like inside the relationship.
Yeah.
So I think too, that's why I love
It
it.
makes a lot of sense. I mean, I still have so much love for the second one. I remember having like a special sleepover for the premiere of the second one. So I totally
Ah.
I get it. I mean, it's just so color it's so orange.
Yeah,
The thing
exactly.
that I'm like, oh my gosh. But bet on it, like you can't
Oh,
you
such a
you're
good
the
song.
music in me. Oh my god.
Oh my
Wait, so
God,
Kendra,
classic.
what's
Okay,
your favorite High School Musical song?
okay. Of like all the movies or this, okay, I'll do this first one. My favorite
Okay.
song in this movie is Status Quo. That is my song.
Oh, I love it.
I love what Zeke bakes. What's your favorite song?
I think, okay, so my friend Ro and I love to perform Breaking Free whenever we're
Oh,
drinking. So
yeah.
I think Breaking Free, but I mean, I memorized that checklist. Even going through now, like
Hmm.
reflecting on all this, I remembered how often I would listen to When There Was Me and You. So
Yeah.
cringy. And I was like, it was track six. I remember it was track six.
That's so funny. Guys, we're going to jump into Time Capsule Mercedes, and I just like to recap where we were at the time this movie came out. So, again, this came out in 2006, Mercedes. How old were you and what were you doing?
Oof. Okay. So I have a lot to say about 2006. It was a life-changing year for me in a lot of ways. I was 10 years
Hmm.
old. I was
Yeah.
in fourth grade. I remember the exact time that this movie premiered. I remember it. I was so excited for it because you know how Disney Channel builds you up for the
Yeah. They
premieres
do the whole
and then
countdown.
exactly, and then they're playing it like every weekend for like 2 months. Like
Yep.
you are in it. So
Yep.
I was so excited, and I remember watching it at my grandparents' house, and my parents, my grandpa were at a basketball game, so I was home with my nana, and I
Hmm.
remember being in disbelief that it takes place in Albuquerque.
Oh, really?
As a New Mexican, like this was the first time genuinely that I'd ever seen people say Albuquerque on screen that wasn't like on the news. And so naturally I was obsessed. And then I see like this shy Latina studio who like loves school. I was like, okay, it's
Yeah.
me. I'm gonna marry Troy Bolton. I yeah, like I think of High School Musical, the premiere of it, as like the great finale to like an era of my youth because I
Hmm.
had so many changes directly after that. So it was definitely like it's time stamped in my brain of like January 2006 was so special for me.
Oh, that is very special, Mercedes. I love when you talk about how you've kind of, felt validated in your identity through the different rom coms that we explore, especially ones that have
Yeah.
to do with Latina and just with JLo month and everything. I love seeing the evolution of Mercedes through these episodes. So,
Aw.
okay, I've said this in previous episodes, but this time of my life, I only watched a handful of channels, and this was one of them. And I watched every single Disney Channel movie, every
Same.
single
Oh,
one. And I
I'm
was
here with
especially
you.
excited for this one because when I was younger, my aunt came to live with us for a time, and she would only watch the channel Lifetime. Lifetime is for old women.
Ooh.
Like she would literally only watch that channel. And there is this movie that would play all the time called Miracle Run that Zac Efron starred in.
Zach.
Yeah, do you remember that? So if for anyone who hasn't seen it, he's basically like he is an autistic cross country runner, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the story. And I loved that movie so much, and I would watch it all the time with my aunt on Lifetime. And so when I
Aw.
heard that this movie was gonna come out, I literally freaked out. I was like, "Oh my gosh, Zac!" So I feel like I knew Zac Efron before he was like
Yes.
Zac Efron, you know?
Did you ever watch Summerland, his
Yes,
show?
yes,
Oh
I watched
my
Summerland. Jesse
gosh.
McCartney, yes. Oh my
Such a
gosh,
stacked cast.
such a good show. Loved it. Everyone was in there. So I just feel like that was like I don't know. I was just super excited. And then also too it was funny because like Zac Efron had a huge gap in
Oh
his
my gosh, do
teeth.
you remember the gap? It
Yeah,
was
do
so
you some
cute.
people did know him when he had the gap. Like that's something you have to Google now. But like he had been in stuff where he had like a huge gap in between his teeth and like
Yeah.
totally fine if you do, but it was just cute, classic young
Oh
Zac
my
Efron,
god.
you know?
I had the unofficial biography of Zac Efron and I would carry it with me everywhere for about 2 years.
Ooh.
So I know a lot.
There you go. There you go. What else were you doing that year, Mercedes? Do you remember who you had a
Oh
crush
my
on or what were you
goodness.
into?
So, as I said, this was a pretty intense year for me.
Mm-hmm.
10-year-old Mercedes had a lot of personal chaos going on. My grandpa, who I was like so close with, if I wasn't with my parents, I was always with my grandpa. He passed away a few months later in spring
Oh,
2006 after
I'm
the premiere of
sorry.
High School Musical. Yeah, that's never easy for anyone, any type
Mm-hmm.
of loss. And yeah, so that was hard. And then a few months later, my mom, surprise in the family, is pregnant with twins. So I am now from only child to older sister.
Oh
So
yeah.
that shift nuts. We have an 11-year age gap. It's honestly ideal for me. I love it. And I love them. I took on that big sister role immediately and I owned it.
Hmm. There you
But
go.
it was such a crazy shift for me. And life was so weird. So yeah, I really clung to High School Musical that year. Like I said, it would play
Mm-hmm.
all the time on Disney, and I'm pretty sure I got the DVD as soon as I could, and I had the soundtrack right away. It
Yeah.
was like it always. The movie for me is always this fun momentary escape from
Mm-hmm.
any type of chaos or like changes that were happening to me. So it's still one of those comfort movies. I like to call it one of my emergency contacts because
yeah.
yeah, like it's always been that special for me. But at the same time, I was also playing soccer, tennis, basketball. I was also dancing, so I was busy. My activities were stacked.
Yeah.
And as you might assume, I was also obsessed with Disney Channel like you.
Yeah.
So Zac Efron was everything to me. I loved him. Oh my god, I listened to the soundtrack and all of the solo music from the stars on High School Musical. Vanessa Hudgens, Ashley Tisdale, Corbin Bleu. Trust me, I had all of your stuff on repeat.
Okay.
I still to this day, Ashley Tisdale's debut album, Headstrong, I would argue is one of the best pop albums of the early 2000s.
Wow.
Does not get the appreciation it deserves.
Wow.
And she has a song called Don't Touch, in parentheses, the Zoom song. And wouldn't that have been a perfect COVID anthem? Like, why did that come up again?
You should make it a trend on TikTok, Mercedes. I'll follow.
I need it back. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so 2006 was also a hard year for me because that was my freshman year of high school, and I just absolutely hated it. I mean, I have said this multiple times. I was horribly teased in high school. It was hard to just like walk down the halls. It was hard to just to exist in high school because kids were just very, very mean. So the middle school it's a rough time. The middle school that I went to combined into one high school with another middle school, and those kids, Mercedes, were so snobby. Like, even for 2006 standards, these kids were so snobby.
No.
But yeah, but I was like really into dancing and musical theater in 8th grade. The year before, I was the captain of my dance team. And then when I went to high school, they had this renowned dance team. Like, they were known for having like 60 people, and they all were so good, and they did these big productions. Like, it was literally like my school was known for their dance team. So I auditioned my freshman year and I made it, and I literally couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. I was so excited.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love that.
You might as well have told me I got into Juilliard because that's like how much I was.
Aww.
I know. And then I didn't. It's funny because I didn't audition for musical theater because I was already getting teased so much that I just didn't need another excuse. It was kind of like Troy a bit. Like, I just didn't need another excuse for people to like rag on me. And so after my freshman year, my city built another high school, and all those snobby kids went to those high schools, went to that high school, and then I auditioned for my musical theater, and then I did, which my first production was My Fair Lady, and then the rest of high school, the rest of high school, I did musical theater, and I also did like short plays, and I directed a one act, and then I started doing plays at my church too. So.
Oh my goodness, Theater Kid Kendra, I love that.
Kendra. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness, so you were always a theater. You would have hung out with Sharpay and Ryan.
Oh, I was Sharpay. We will get into that, but I was Sharpay, Mercedes.
I love that. I love it.
But I mean, speaking of being like Sharpay, we have to go to the Rom-Com Hall of Fame.
Yes.
We have to start with the roast because obviously comparing yourself to Sharpay might not be the best, especially in this movie. But I'm curious for you, Mercedes, what doesn't age well?
Okay, so my main roast is okay. Disney is a repeat offender of this, and Hollywood in general has done this countless times for years. But Filipinos are always cast as Latinos, and I understand colonized by the same people. I get it. We're essentially cousins in a way. and I, like I said, I loved that Gabriella was this like shy, smart Latina because same, I loved school. But she could have easily been Filipina like Vanessa Hudgens, and the same thing goes for like Lelaine on Lizzie McGuire. Could have easily been Filipina because she was in real life. And I'm almost certain the same thing happened to Olivia Rodrigo when on the time on Disney Channel. I think by HSM TMTS they changed it so she was Filipina on the show as well. But it's such a strange pattern that happens. Even Lou Diamond Phillips, my whole life I thought he was Latino. Just learned last year he was Filipino. He is Filipino. Yes, shocking. And it's so interesting that that's always like consistently the casting.
Can I tell you something, Mercedes? I don't know if this may not be easy. I had no idea that Vanessa Hudgens was Filipina.
Nobody did.
Like,
Nobody
I've
did.
never Googled her before. Like, I remember when we were doing our notes for this, I was like, I've literally never looked up Vanessa Hudgens in my life. Like,
yeah.
I don't know anything about her. Like, you know, other than like
goodness.
who she's dating. I know that she did Court Overstreet or something like that for like
Austin
or no,
Butler.
Austin, thank you. They look exactly the same to me. So I had no idea. This is very interesting. That is a very interesting fact.
Yeah, I didn't know until I saw an interview with her where she was talking about her grandparents and she said Lola, which is like the Filipino way of saying grandma. And that's how I learned. I was like, hang on. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. New fact.
Had no idea. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, I feel like for my roast, Ryan and Sharpay just really give me Jaime and Cersei vibes from Game of Thrones. Like, it's weird that they always play the co-leads
It
in
is
musicals
weird.
because leads usually are lovers in musicals. And like it's just
That one that one quote where Taylor McKessie's just like, she would beat out her brother for the role if she could play both, like the two
yeah,
leads in something. And I was like, why are they playing two lovers in, a,
it's
in
weird.
anything?
It's like very much giving Jaime Cersei vibes, and I'm just like, not here for it. Not here for it. Also, there's a line where Gabriella was like, okay, so it's when they're in the planetarium, Troy and Gabriella, and Gabriella's like, I saw how you were with Kelsey, and you know that part where after she fell down and all of her sheet music went everywhere, he like helped
Yeah.
her up by like picking up her sheet music and giving her a hand. Like that was supposed to be an example of him being nice, and I kind of hate that. I feel like the bar for men being nice is so freaking low, and it always has been. And
Yeah.
it just bothers me that something that should be basic human decency is like considered a man being nice. And I just like, I've been thinking about this a lot just because there's a lot of tension happening with the genders on TikTok right now.
Ooh.
And it's just talking about how different the bars are and everything. And
Yeah.
I feel like that was just such an archetype of this is me being nice, me helping you up. Like no, if someone falls in front of you, you should help them up. Just like
Exactly.
you
That's
should
just
do
that should be
that.
automatic.
Exactly.
And it is always, especially for like the hot guys, like the
Mhm.
hot cool guys, that's the bare minimum of just like, oh, let me just normal politeness.
Exactly. And then they're always like, "Well, I'm a nice guy." It's like, "No, you're just like that's like saying I can breathe." Like everyone does it. You should just do that.
I do not trust any man who self-describes as a quote nice guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure you are. Trust
Yeah,
me. I've
that's
never
so
described
crazy.
myself. I've never had to say that. It speaks for itself. Sorry, guy.
I'm a nice girl. Why doesn't anyone give me a chance? Like it makes
So
me cringe.
horny.
Okay, speaking of like things that guys say. Okay, I feel like one of my favorite quotes in here is when Troy is talking with Corbin Blue's character. I can't ever
I
separate
love
the
Chad
actor.
Danforth.
Yeah, I can never separate the character and the actor. It's so hard for me. But Troy's like, Sharpay's kind of cute, and he's like, yeah, so is a mountain lion, but you don't pet it.
Yeah, he's like Sharpay, dude. Sharpay.
Yeah. So funny.
Oh,
What was
so
yours?
good. Oh, my favorite quote is that Coach Bolton running into the theater during detention, and he's like, where's my team, Darpus? What the heck are those two doing in a tree?"
Do it
And
in a
they're
tree.
just sitting. Yes, it's the infliction he has is so perfect. I love Bart Johnson. I've bought a
Oh, yeah.
cameo from him before, and I had him in the cameo. I was like, please say this line. I got it from one of my friends.
That's so funny. Did he do it?
Yeah. Oh, it was amazing. I did it for my friend Ro for her birthday, and he was
Mhm.
so perfect in it. And he said that we're part of the team. He was like
Oh.
that time at practice when you guys saw me say, "What the heck are those two doing in a tree?" I
Oh
was like,
my
"I
God.
was there. I was there. I'm on a team.
That's so funny. You're gonna have to send that to me. That is so
I'm a
cool.
wildcat."
So then I have to ask Mercedes, if this movie popped up on your Tinder feed, would you swipe left or would you swipe right?
Oh my goodness, Kendra, swipe right for the rest of my life. Troy
Okay.
Bolton is truly the love of my life.
Oh.
Notice how I didn't say Zac Efron, I said Troy Bolton.
Yeah,
And
I know.
I used to drunkenly introduce myself when I studied abroad as Gabriella to strangers.
Really?
So it clearly made an impact on me. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm from Albuquerque. The only thing you know about me is Breaking Bad and High School Musical, so just call me Gabriella. For months, I had people be like, Gabriella.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Yeah,
funny.
so I'm forever swiping right.
Okay. So this goes back into my hot take. If it's between this movie and the second one, I'm swiping all the way left on this one. Because High School Musical 2 is where it's at. It is
No
the
one-
best Disney movie ever. It really
No one is telling you to choose. You can swipe right on all three and be
Okay.
happy.
I actually haven't seen the third one. Fun fact. I haven't seen the third one. Um,
I think my heart just stopped.
I
Oh
know,
my
I
God.
know. I don't know if I necessarily feel like but I think it's because I love the second one so much. I was just like, I don't know if you could do better than this. And if they don't do better, then I'm gonna be disappointed. It's gonna affect me. So,
Kendra, the third one has my favorite music.
oh
The
yeah,
third one, I have recreated. There's another solo from Zach that's I think Bet on It is my go-to karaoke song with my friend Kristen, but
hmm
Scream on the third one. Oh my God. I recreated it
hmm
for my friend and this guy that she liked. And I was like, turn the screen toward you so I can't see it. And I'm gonna narrate the whole thing, what he does. And I did the whole choreography. And I was like, and now he's gonna jump on the ropes in the theater. And then he's gonna do this. And I got it beat by beat. And I wasn't even
oh.
looking at the screen. They were, and then, they fell in love for a bit. So
Okay, well, maybe after I'm done watching The Last Kingdom, because this is the final season, I will watch it. I will let
I
you know.
will, yeah, I'll personally do a one woman show of the whole thing
Oh.
for you if you'd prefer.
See, that is totally me in Chicago. Like that's my musical that I can do
So
line
good.
for line.
So good.
But welcome guys to Couples Therapy. This is just a time where Mercedes and I like to give dating advice for the characters on how they can improve their relationship. And so I feel like my advice for Troy and Gabrielle is to just continue to be yourselves and don't give in to peer
Hmm.
pressure. Because I think one of the biggest regrets I have from high school is just the fact that like I let people affect me so much, right? And obviously
Yeah.
you are so impressionable at that age. It's easy to. And like I don't think either of them ever pretended with each other, which is so great and also really
Hmm.
different from Grease, which is what, they were trying to make this out to be. Like there was a scene in Grease where Danny acted like he didn't even know Sandy at one point.
Yeah.
Like after they spent a whole summer together. And I just feel like Troy always showed Gabriella kindness and respect and was always her friend, even if she was a little nerdy. So I just want them to continue on that path.
Yes. Oh, I love that. For me, something I really love about this series is how much Troy cares for Gabriella, and he really shows it in all of his efforts from the beginning, from just remaining singing on stage with her at
Yeah.
karaoke. So I'd love to see that given back to him a little bit because throughout all three movies, really, you see Troy really fighting for their relationship, while Gabriella pulls back anytime she feels any type of unsureness. That's not a word. Yeah, anytime she
I
just
got you.
feels any type of insecurity in their relationship, she pulls back a
Mm,
little,
yeah.
which understandable. And also, I'd love to see them communicate better, but I always preach that for all our couples. But they are all in high
Mm,
school, so naturally their communication isn't very good. But they do build confidence and trust throughout. So
mhm.
I just can't. And for me, I just love them so much. Oh gosh.
I will say, Mercedes, I would be more mad about Gabriella pulling away if we did not get one of the best Disney songs out of her pulling away, which is Gotta Go My Own Way. Because that is one of the
Oh
best.
my God.
I love
So
that song.
good.
I love
What
that
about
song.
us?
What about
What about
everything we've
everything
been
we've been
through?
through?
What about
Trust.
trust? I never wanted to hurt. Oh
Wanted
my
to hurt
gosh.
you.
Ooh,
Oh, I
best
could go
song.
on and on.
Could
Do
go
not get me.
on.
We have to go to karaoke. Kendra, once we hang out in person, we're going to karaoke.
We're
We're
going
doing
to
all of High
karaoke.
School
Yeah.
Musical.
Our
Oh,
listeners don't know. Mercedes, we've never met each other before.
I
So
know. I cannot wait.
it's
My
happening.
dream is to karaoke with you.
Yeah.
It's one of my main hobbies.
Oh, I love karaoke. I love it. We're doing
It's the
it.
best.
What do you think is Troy? What do you think are Troy and Gabriella's love languages? I don't know why I can't talk. I want to know what you think of their love languages.
Okay, Troy is my acts of service babe. You can
Yeah.
see it from the beginning. He's always there for Gabriella. He
Yep.
puts so much pressure on himself to make everyone in his life so happy, from his
Mm-hmm.
family to his friends, his team, everybody. And from karaoke night to volunteering to audition with her, he's really showing up for her, and I love that for him. I do think he needs words of affirmation though, because like I said, he puts so much pressure on himself that I think reassurance that he's loved and just
Mm-hmm.
knowing that, and without pinpointing his accomplishments, like he says he doesn't want to be the basketball boy, he wants to be just a guy, and
Yeah.
Gabriella makes him feel that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. Troy is definitely acts of service. Like volunteering to sing with Gabriella. I feel like he needs quality time. Like you could tell like he really opened up when it was just the two of them in the planetarium. And it seems that Troy spends a majority of his time with people who only see one side of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's always a relief for him to hang out with Gabriella because he doesn't have to pretend, he can just be himself. So I feel like he
Yeah.
needs quality time. And then for Gabriella, I feel like she does give quality time. She's very
Mm-hmm.
good at listening. She's very good at like providing support, offering her advice. But she also needs active service because I think she needs you to show up for her and keep your word and do the things that you're going to say. So that's why I think Troy and Gabriella work so well because they give each other the love languages that they need.
They have a great balance.
They
I
do.
said the same thing. I think she definitely gives quality time. I also think she gives words of affirmation in a way, just
Mm,
because she's really encouraging and really gets him out of his comfort zone, which is
yeah.
so important from your partner. And I think she needs quality time because since she's moved so much, she's really hesitant to get close to anyone. But through time and one-on-one quality time with Troy, she really builds her trust and her confidence grows as well, which is so special to see.
Hmm.
Just how like small and meek she is at the beginning, and then by the end, she's dancing around in a bold
Yeah.
red dress with all her classmates. It's so special.
Yeah, that dress is fire.
Oh, I love.
It's a good one. It's a good one. So, does this couple then last 5 years, Mercedes? What do you think? And sorry, my cat is making an appearance here.
I love your cat. Your cat can make an appearance whenever. And in my heart, yes, they do forever. Troy
Hmm.
and Gabriella are high school sweetheart. Oh, high school
Sweet
sweethearts.
chart.
I cannot talk either. Oh my goodness, forever. I'm their biggest support. I'm not the biggest supporter of Local Love, but I'm the biggest Troy and
Mm,
Gabriella supporter.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think even with their short distance in college,
Hmm.
and even if they separated for a little bit in college and grew independently, I think I
Yeah.
have a feeling they would find their way back to each other,
Aw,
you
that's
know? And
sweet.
I mean, like, they have the most perfect meet cute in the world. Like, you cannot follow through. For me,
Mm,
karaoke on New Year's Eve, literally my dream scenario is to
yes.
have a man fall in love with me while I'm singing karaoke. Not that I'm a good singer, but just because it brings me the most joy.
Yeah.
I like you can't do that and like not be forever lovers. You know what I mean?
I feel that. Okay, so my opinion is different, and I think it's because Zach and Vanessa only lasted 4 years. Like they almost
I
stayed 5 years, but they
know.
only
Oh my
lasted 4 years.
gosh. Yeah.
But I think Troy is a nice guy. I do think he is a good guy down deep in his soul, but I can just see Troy getting just like really hot in college and being the big basketball star, which when you're a good player in high school that's one thing, but when you're a good player on a college team, you're famous. The entire world knows you.
Mm,
Like ESPN covers you, like all of this, you are famous. I could totally see that getting to his head and him outgrowing Gabriella and just becoming a super big douche and peaking in college. But I do feel like he goes back to his good guy roots afterwards. But it may be too late. She could have moved on and found love with someone else while he was being peak douche in college. So,
Kendra, this is why you have to watch senior year, the third one, so you know where
uh,
he goes to college and he knows what he's gonna study. Like you need to know.
oh
You
gosh. Okay.
you
Okay.
have to.
Fine,
Be,
fine, fine. I will
you
make that a
have to.
priority for you,
Oh
Mercedes,
my
because
goodness.
you've also never suggested anything bad for me. So,
Yeah, same to you. Also, the Zanessa
Mhm.
breakup took such a toll on me.
Aw.
My Spanish teacher told me right before my Spanish final in ninth grade, one of like my first finals weeks ever in high
Oh
school.
no.
And I remember being there at the beginning of the final, and he's like, I have bad news for everyone in class. Zanessa has broken up. My heart drops. Truly,
Mm.
I felt like I was falling into a tunnel. And this one girl in class who was always loud and annoying was like, why would we care? And there I am holding back tears in my
Yeah,
eyes, being
yeah.
like, yeah, why would we care?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So was that your celebrity breakup that like completely ruined you? Because I have two.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was your. Do you have another one?
Not at the top of my head. That was the one
Okay.
that rocked me.
Okay. The one that literally completely disturbed my inner peace and just I'm still not over it. There are two of them. Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield
Oh, yeah.
and Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I'm
Oh my
destroyed.
gosh.
I am because if I thought I knew what true love looked like, Mercedes. I
Hmm.
really did, and I was like, true love is Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield and Brad and Angelina, and I was like I was for it, and they're not. Ugh, I
That
can't even talk
TikTok
about it.
sound that went around a couple months ago of Andrew
Mm.
Garfield describing Emma Stone as like sunshine. Did you hear it?
No, I didn't hear it. What does he
Oh my gosh.
say?
He's just like, she's like a ball of sunshine. Like the kindest thing ever. Like how she just like glows and is just like the epitome of sunshine in a human.
This is why I love her, because that's how,
Yeah.
like, I love that.
Yeah.
I am destroyed. No other celebrity couple will ever compare, ever.
Oh,
I don't care.
wait. I
Yeah.
do have to ask now that we're talking about all these couples. I
Yeah.
described my favorite meet cute, which is karaoke on New Year's. I need
Yeah.
to know, and High School Musical is my one of my favorite meet cutes of all time. I need to know,
Okay.
what's your dream meet cute scenario?
Okay.
I know you have one.
I know. Well, I have a couple. I will say, because I'm such a big traveler, I would
Yeah.
love for me to, like, be in an airport and just see like a really cute guy and just be like, oh, he's really cute. And then I get on the plane and he's sitting next to me. I've
Oh, the
never,
dream.
I'm so sad, Mercedes. Of all the times I've ever been on a plane, I have never had a cute guy sit next to me. Not once. Not
No.
once. Not even anyone relatively my age sit next to me. Never. And it makes me so sad. I am waiting for that moment. So that's one. And then I think if we were like on the ground, I always think about if I'm sitting in a park, like on a bench, and then this random dog runs up to me. I have a problem. I have to pet every dog that I see. It's really bad. I
Yes.
need to stop doing that. But if a dog runs up to me, I'll be like, oh my God, you're so cute. Where's your owner? And I just see this guy flustered running down like towards me.
Oh my
He's like, oh my
goodness,
God, I'm so
wind
sorry.
blown.
Yeah, wind blown. And he's like, I'm so sorry. That's my dog. And I'm like, oh no, it's okay. And then our eyes meet, our eyes lock. That's why.
Oh, I love both of those. Airplane, like meet cutes are so nice to me, but then
Yeah.
every time I'm at the airport, I look like absolute garbage. Like, I look so horrible. And I'll think about it before. I'm like, what if I do meet a hot guy today at the
Yeah.
airport? It never happens because I just look like a troll anyway. So I'm like,
That's so
whatever.
funny.
I
My
love-
airport outfits are always on point. I always wear, so I do this intentionally. I always wear a piece of clothing that can be an icebreaker or like a
Ooh,
talking point.
that's such a good idea.
Yeah, so I just got a new shirt. Oh gosh, I have to show it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna show it to you. Give me 2 seconds.
Yay! Fashion show, fashion show, fashion show during the pod. Fashion show, fashion show, fashion show during the pod.
Okay, so I always have a piece of clothing that is like an icebreaker or something that like someone could to come and talk to me. So I just got this shirt. It is Sirius Black on the cover of Playboy magazine.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
How epic is this?
I love that.
It's from Rebel and Fleur, so shout out to them. And I think I'm gonna make a TikTok about it because I just love it. It's
Yes.
Sirius
I
Black,
love a graphic tee.
Gary Oldman, just Playboy across it. I'm like, yeah, if you did not have a crush on Sirius Black from Harry Potter, what were you doing?
I did not. I don't know what I was doing.
Love Sirius. Speaking of Sirius, we gotta go into Heartthrob, Mercedes.
Yes.
Okay, out of all the people in High School Musical, who would you introduce to your friends and your family and the ones that you love?
Oh my goodness, hands down, Troy Bolton has been the love of my life since I was 10 years old. So about
Since you were
16
10.
years now. Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously him, not to mention I have this strong love for Zac Efron, and I will say it's not a romantic love. I don't wish to be with him. I just wish to protect him. Anytime, remember a couple years ago when he got into that like rough accident while he was like camping and filming somewhere? I was so scared that it brought me to tears. I've never gotten through a Zac Efron movie without crying. Even like Neighbors 2.
Really?
My friend, I saw it in theaters with my friend Alyssa, and there's this one scene where he's running barefoot down the street at night because he's just so stressed about his future. And she said she just heard me go, "Oh no," and I'm just crying. Like I can't handle whenever he faces any type of hardship. Even in his Netflix show, he's like crying over eating carbs for the first time, and there I am on the couch sobbing
Oh,
because
you're
I'm like,
so funny,
I-
Mercedes.
I care for him so much. I've written all these like odes to Zac Efron, odes to Troy Bolton because I'm in love with Troy Bolton, but I just need to protect Zac Efron at all costs. I don't know what it is. Like I've loved him. I'll even rewatch his episode of MTV's Room Raiders from 2005 because I just adore this boy. I've never
Wow.
not seen a Zac Efron movie. I care about him so much.
Wow, I'm very impressed. Oh my gosh. See, how you feel about Zac Efron is how I felt about Anton Yelchin.
Ooh.
Yeah. And before he passed away, Anton Yelchin was my boy. And I was just like, we need to protect him at all costs because he is a treasure. He is a light. He is so special and so talented. And that's if we're talking about like celebrity couples, like celebrity breakups that we can't get over, celebrity deaths that can't get over, one of them is Anton Yelchin. The
He
other
was in Like Crazy, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. He
Yeah.
did a bunch of like really like small indie films. He was
Hmm.
so good. Like I felt that way. I was like I cried at all of his movies. Every time I saw, even in freaking Charlie Bartlett, which was a comedy, I cried.
Aw.
Like I loved him. I was writing a movie with him as a star because at the time I was like really into screenwriting.
Yeah.
It was yeah. That's exactly how I felt about him. So I understand where that's coming from.
Aw.
I feel like for me, because I like to switch it up all the time on you, Mercedes. Who
Yes.
I would do is actually Zeke, the guy who
Oh,
bakes.
such a good choice.
I
Such a good
love
choice.
Zeke. I love him. I think he's such a sweetheart, but
He's
also
so
that
sweet.
he's so sweet. The actor that plays him, Chris Warren, is fine as hell.
Oh my god,
So
he's so
fine.
hot. Have you seen that basketball player that looks identical to him? There's an NBA basketball, either NBA or college. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's NBA. They could be twins.
Really? I have not seen
Total
it.
doppelgangers.
I have not seen
Beautiful,
it.
beautiful men. Oh my god.
Chris Warren is married with a child, but if for some reason that doesn't work out and you're listening, Chris, you could slide into my DMs at Kent at Hollywood.
I had a family friend play Zeke in our like local Albuquerque little theater high school musical back in the day.
Mhm.
And when he came out, I was like, "You don't look like Zeke," because there I am, like 11 years old, being like, "You're not a Zeke. Trust me."
Yeah, that's so funny. All right, guys, we're going to play Mary Smooch Ghost, where we just talk about. I like almost forgot. I was like, what are we calling now? Mary Smooch Ghost, where we just talk about who we would marry, who we would smooch, and who we would ghost. So, okay, here are the options.
There's so many options.
So many options. We're gonna do Troy, Chad, and Zeke first.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm marrying Troy. I'm
Mm.
gonna smooch Zeke, and I'm gonna
Okay.
ghost Chad. Sorry, Corbin Blue. I still love you.
Okay. I'm going to marry Zeke, smooch Troy, ghost Chad. Again, sorry, Corbin Blue. Corbin Blue, by the way, is the best dancer in the whole thing.
Oh, he's so good. Also, did you know he designed all his graphic tees in it? You know how they all have
did.
clever phrases?
Yeah.
Those were all his ideas.
My favorite was I come with my own background music. Okay, now we're gonna do. Okay, let's do Troy, Coach Bolton, or Ryan.
Okay. Marry Troy, smooch
Mhm.
Coach Bolton. That'll be a little weird. Ghost Ryan. I love Coach Bolton. He's so weird.
He is. I agree with you. So here's actually a fun fact. During the pandemic, one of my friends had a Zoom birthday party. Oh, it was a birthday party on Discord actually, and so you could like break out into different rooms. Tell me why I log on to this birthday party and Lucas Grabeel is on it.
Oh my god.
I was freaking out. I texted my friend whose birthday it was. I was like, is that? I'm sorry. Is that Lucas Grabeel? Like,
Oh my
he was like, yeah,
god.
he's a really good friend. I was like, are you kidding me? He was like, do you want to meet him? I was like, yes, I want to meet him.
Did you meet him?
I did meet him. It's so funny. Versailles. This happens to me. I don't know what it is. I just have a lot of connections to Disney Channel. My old roommate,
love
my
that.
old college roommate is married to Gordo from Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like
Nuts.
I met Lucas Grabeel and I have some other Disney encounters, but yeah, this is definitely
Oh my goodness. He has a great cameo on HSM TMTS
oh
on season, I think it's season 2. It might be it's one of them. It was either 1 or 2.
my good
And-
friend was a writer on that show, actually.
Oh, I love season 1 was so good. I watched it all in one night. I love it. Anyone out there who's a High School Musical fan who doesn't know if they'd like it, you will love it. And
Okay.
seeing like pre-famous Olivia Rodrigo and knowing you're looking at her, you're like, you're gonna be a star one day. That's how I was watching. I was like, I know you're gonna be a star.
That's so funny. Okay, guys, before we wrap it up, we always love to bring in a pop culture moment, and Mercedes is our pop culture queen. What
Oh my
what fun
goodness.
facts do you have for us?
First of all, like I said, watch HSM TMTS. It's on Disney Plus. It's awesome. I watched the whole first season in one night with my friend, and my friend and roommate at the time was just like, "Please turn this off. I'm so over this." And me and my other friend were like, "No, we have to keep going. It's
Yeah.
so good." It's amazing. The music is great. Also, I don't know if you knew, Monique Coleman and Corbin Bleu reunited this past winter on Lifetime for a holiday rom-com called The Christmas Dance Reunion. So we get to see them on the dance floor yet again in
Oh
love.
wow. Okay.
So good. Both so gorgeous still.
yeah.
This cast, beautiful forever.
That
Forever.
black don't crack. Just
It's
say
true. They're gorgeous. And
it.
like I said, Bart Johnson makes the best cameos. He's great. He's also Blake Lively's cousin,
I didn't know
which is
that.
so random. Yeah,
So
so
but that's a
random.
beautiful family, dude. That's a
Oh
freaking
my
beautiful
gosh, I
family.
know. Yeah, and he is just so kind and like really puts care into his cameos where some celebrities really don't.
Yeah.
And it's also a great price if you're looking for
Okay.
a good birthday gift. Oh, and I need
Huh.
to end this episode with everyone just go listen to He Said She Said by Ashley Tisdale and then just click on the Headstrong album. Listen the whole thing all the way through. Come back to me with your review. If you're a bad
Okay.
bitch out there, then you still know all the lyrics to He Said She Said. Let me tell you that. You do. Just like me.
Listeners, we want to hear from you guys. First of all, do you think Headstrong is the unspoken pop album of the early 2000s? Do you like High School Musical, or are you like me and think High School Musical 2 is better? Make sure to slide into our DMs at Meet Cute. Again, I'm Kendra. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Ken10Hollywood.
Yes, and I've been Mercedes. You can find me on Twitter, IG, and TikTok at MercedesGB11. And if you're looking for new rom-coms, follow Meet Cute wherever you listen to podcasts and follow Meet Cute on socials everywhere. Bye, everyone.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.